You know, there is too much conflict in the world. We need to be open and accepting of our differences. We should learn to love each other, Christian and Muslim and Jew, black and white, straight or gay. We should approach everyone and everything with a spirit of tolerance, with understanding and without judgment. I agree with you, Mr. Gideon. What did you say? I said, I agree with you. You're under arrest. Oh no, it's the grammar police. Agree is a verb. I agree with you, not I am agree with you. Put him in prison and throw away the key. I don't think the modern jail has keys anymore. I think they're equipped with some kind of electronic locking system. Take him away. No! This summer I went on holiday to parts of Europe where I don't speak the language. They will remain nameless because I may wish to visit them again and I don't want to alienate anyone there. You know, if you're an engineer or a bus driver or a software developer, when you go on holiday, it really is a holiday. You can switch off and enjoy the moment. The problem if you're an English teacher is that it's extremely difficult to stop being a teacher, even on holiday. You're constantly listening to English and analysing it and registering mistakes. Of course, I try not to, but it's difficult. And after all these years, it's kind of automatic. Finally, I thought, if I can't stop this reflex, then at least I can make something from it. And here it is. During my holidays, I compiled all the grammar and vocabulary mistakes I heard from everyday conversations I had in English during my trip and wrote them down in this black book right here. And now I'm going to share them with you in this video. I think you might find it interesting because these are mistakes from real conversations. You too will be a grammar policeman or policewoman during the duration of this video. I'll give you the mistake and then pause, give you time to work out the correct answer, and then at the end tell us how many you got right in the comments section below. So, my fellow officers, let's go. Oh, and by the way, this is just a light-hearted look at common grammar mistakes. Please don't accuse me of cultural imperialism or neo-colonialism or anything like that in the comments, okay? It's just a bit of fun. Anyway, let's go. So, I walked into a cafe in a European capital that shall remain nameless and I ordered an espresso macchiato because that's what I like to drink. The barista looked at me and said, "Is it for here or to go?" I got out my black book and shouted, "No, no, no. To go, a coffee to go, that's okay. You could say that. You could also say to take away, more likely in British English. But for here? No, that's so wrong. That doesn't mean anything. We are talking about the consumption of food and beverages. So you should use the verb have, like we do with meals. Have breakfast, have lunch, have dinner." So the correct sentence would be, my dear barista, if you're watching, is it to go or to have in? To go or to have in. Or you could also say, is it to take away or to stay in? You could use the verb to stay in as well. I threw the drink across the room and walked out of the cafe without paying. Actually, that's not true. I smiled politely, said thank you. I sat down and drank it quietly in the corner. Next, I went to the train station and I asked the guy there at the ticket office for a ticket to a certain destination, and he said, "Is it a one-way ticket or a go and return ticket?" I screamed at him, "No, go and return ticket? That's incorrect. We don't say a go and return ticket in English. We just say a return ticket, because if you buy return, you've got to go there too. It's logical, isn't it? So the word go is superfluous. So you would say, I'd like a return ticket, please. I'd like a return to Manchester, please. So you don't even need the word ticket. So I gave him an angry look, and no, I didn't really. I just smiled, said thank you, and walked away. So I was having a conversation in a bar with a local person from this city, and we were getting along pretty well. And then he said to me, "You seem like a nice guy. I think the people in your country is very nice." I said, No, you're wrong. You're wrong. I'm not nice. I'm not nice at all," as I whipped out my black book. And I said, "Listen, sunshine, people is a plural noun. The people are very nice. The people are nice in my country, you idiot." And I walked out, and I exaggerate the story quite a lot, in fact. So, I was having another conversation with a woman. I said to her, "How long have you been living in this city?" And she said, "I've been here since 6 months. Since 6 months? Once again, I got out my black book. Since 6 months? No. So what's the error here? Okay, so put since before a pronoun or a noun to say when something started to happen. Since we last met, I've become a rock star. With since, you're usually referring to past time up to the present, and so you'll use a present perfect or a present perfect continuous tense. Since Gideon has been our teacher, our English has really improved. I was your teacher in the past, and I'm still your teacher, so the present perfect. You can also put since before a time, a day, a date, or a year. I've been feeling strange since Tuesday. I haven't eaten meat since 1988. Use for a duration of time. That is the number of hours, days, weeks, years, etc. I've been here for 2 hours. And if you're talking about recent time, that includes now. We often add the words the last. So, for example, for the last 6 months, I've been planning my escape from this prison. Okay. Anyway, she told me she liked 60s rock music. I said, "Do you prefer the Beatles or the Rolling Stones?" And she said, "I like the both. I like the both." Oh dear. What's the error here? Well, we don't usually put the before both. When you want to say it's the same for two things, just say, "I like both. I want both. I need both." You can put them before the word both. Do you want the cookies or the donuts? I want both, or I want them both if you want. You can say, "I want them both" if you insist, but not the. Don't put the before both. But like all good rules, there is an exception. You can put the both after phrases like of us, of you, of them. These donuts are not only for you, they are for the both of us. But even here, the definite article can be omitted without any change in meaning. They are for both of us. It's also perfectly correct, so you never really need to say, "All right, the both." I had an appointment and I was about 10 minutes late. So I texted him, "I'm 10 minutes late." He wrote back, "No problem. See you later." See you later? So where's the error here? Of course, it's with "see you later." That's the only thing he wrote. You wouldn't use "see you later" when you're seeing someone in 10 minutes. If you're seeing them in a few hours, then that will be okay. We've had lunch together and we're meeting for cocktails later in the day. Then I'd say, "Okay, see you later." So what would I say in this situation? Could I say "see you soon"? No, not really. "See you soon" is another way of saying goodbye. You're not sure when you'll meet the other person again, if ever, because you might also use "see you soon" to strangers who you'll probably never see again. "Thank you for shopping with us," and "see you soon." So in this situation, what would you say? You could say, see you shortly, okay? Or see you then, or possibly see you in a bit. See you shortly is a bit formal, okay? It means in a short time. See you then refers to the time mentioned in the message. So in this case, 10 minutes. See you in a bit is a more informal version of see you shortly. So it means see you in a short time. Let's look at the next one. I had an interesting conversation with Maria. She told me, before I worked in finance, but now I work in marketing. Before I worked in finance, but now I work in marketing. What's the problem here? Well, I suppose it's grammatically correct, but a native speaker would never say that. Why? Because we have an expression which we use to talk about past states, and that is, I'm sure you know it, used to. Yes, that's right. I used to work in finance. Doesn't that sound more elegant? I used to work in finance. So don't say before I smoked, but not now. Just say I used to smoke. When you use used to, it's clear that it doesn't happen now. Okay? I used to live in London, but I don't anymore. I'll continue with another note I took from the same conversation. Maria says to Gregory, hey Gregory, I've got a new boyfriend. Gregory asks Maria, oh really? How is he? How is he? No, that's not right. So what's wrong here? When I ask you, how are you? I'm politely asking if you're okay. And I would reply, or you would reply, I'm fine, thanks. And you? Or something like that. By the way, we have a video on how to respond to how are you up here somewhere. So how is he is a question about the well-being of someone. How is he? Oh, he's fine. He's fine, yeah. He's recovered from his illness. What Gregory wants to know is about the personality of Maria's new boyfriend. And for that, we would say, what would we say? What's he like? Oh, you got a new boyfriend. What's he like? Well, he's a postman and a really dynamic, friendly, kind person. Now, if Gregory is asking about the appearance of Maria's girlfriend, he would say, what does he look like? What does he look like? Okay? And Maria might answer, well, he's tall and muscular with a long brown hair and a thick, bushy moustache. Or something like that. Maria likes guys with bushy moustaches. Finally, I returned to London. I thought to myself, oh, that was a traumatic experience. Perhaps I should never travel again. I spend all my holidays in future in Bournemouth on the south coast as I did as a kid, and I won't have to listen to all this incorrect grammar anymore. Then, as I was walking on the high street, a tourist approached me and he said, excuse me, can you tell me where is the station? No, I said, that's not correct. I told him, that's not correct. Where in this sentence is a location, relative pronoun, and if you use where to start a question, yes, it will be followed by a modal auxiliary. Where is the station? Where can I find some jellied eels in London? Where did you go last night? That's okay. But as a relative pronoun, you would follow it by the noun or pronoun, and then at the end is or are will go after. So can you tell me where the station, that's the noun, is? Okay, can you tell me where the station is, the verb at the end? I don't know where the files are. Let me know where she is. He replied, well, do you know or not? I said, yeah, okay, go straight on. It's about 100 metres down the road. So how many did you get right? Do you have a black book of your own? Comentaros, subscription, likey, stay mellow. See you next time. Bye.